Friday the 13th. My school is closed for 2 weeks. So this is gonna be 2 weeks of torture, quarantine.
So today is the 26th of March. It's the second day of India's 21-day lockdown, which is essentially a nationwide curfew that the Prime Minister announced on the 24th night.
I am just on my way to pick up my daughter from school. We've had a letter sent to us on email from the head teacher explaining that they can no longer keep the school open because there aren't enough teachers.
Kind of like this, you can't really hear me talk. But this is what I look like to all my patients.
I am pregnant in the time of COVID. I haven't been out of the house in probably a week and a half. When I went out, it was just for a car ride.
So I'm gonna leave my quarantine bedroom and show you Sophia's bug out bag or whatever it's called.
It's called a bug out bag.
And what is the bag for?
Well, so it's if anything happens, we take out our bags and we go in a hideout spot.
So basically backpacks full of things that, when the world shuts down, they have essentials.
क्योंकि हमको मेहनत करके खाने का ये डर से काम ज़िंदगी नहीं बिता सकते हैं। इसके लिए हमको काम अगर नहीं करेंगे तो हम कैसा चलेंगे, हमारे परिवार कैसा चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा ना। तो अगर बीमार को हम डरेंगे तो घर पे कौन खिलाएगा हमको, कौन बैठा के खिलाएगा, कोई नहीं खिला सकता।
We're about 2 weeks in. It has been kind of a rough day. There's just so much bad news coming out of New York and out of the country in general.
I'm most afraid that this is going to last forever, and that someone who I don't expect to be vulnerable to the virus is going to die. I mean, I expect the vulnerable people to die as well.
Obviously, the anxiety goes up and down. 1 minute it's way up and you're thinking about the world exploding. The next minute it's way down and I'm concerned with work and getting Florence off of the iPad. We've got one room with all three of us, and me and Florence are wearing the t-shirts that we would have been wearing had we been able to go to Disney and Universal in Florida. Obviously we're not going there now.
We're working from home for 4 months, and that has me stressed out. I'm worried. I'm worried for my job.
I feel like it's really up to me to stick to a routine so that I don't get fired for not working, and also that I don't go crazy because I live in a very small space.
The Prime Minister urged everyone to stay at home, but at 5 o'clock to kind of come to the balconies, the windows, or the doors and kind of make some noise to kind of send respects and appreciation and solidarity to healthcare workers. But what worried me was that a lot of WhatsApp messages were circulating after this, saying that the reason the Prime Minister said this was that there is scientific backing that the sound waves produced by the noise would help in making sure the virus didn't come close to your house and kind of help combat the virus, stop the virus from traveling. It's great that people came out and did that. What I'm worried about is that there are a huge number of people who are not very educated in India, and that they would actually think that these sound waves would combat the virus.
Joven, where are we going?
To the new house.
It's not new.
We're probably going to be at this house for, 3 months. I am having so much trouble just feeling like a good mom. And I imagine that I'm not the only one. It's hard to juggle working remotely, all the scheduled calls that were always in my calendar, but now doing them from home, while Joven is, super needy, bored. I'm not trying to put him in front of the TV all day, but he's definitely watching a ton of it.
It takes 3 weeks to form a habit, well, this is definitely going to last for more than 3 weeks. So hopefully some people will form some better habits of less waste, and maybe better cooking habits. Maybe they'll learn something. We're going to give haircuts a go. Okay.
This side looks good. This side looks nicely rounded round here. This side is a bit of a right angle. But yeah, it's fine. You've done awesome.
I've had a lot of video chats. I've had a lot of dance parties, all virtual. I felt really good about it. It's just been a really good time to reflect for me personally. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't get that luxury. This whole pandemic has really outlined to me the class divide. Like, I went to the grocery store 2 days ago and everybody was all over the place and like on me, around me, and like there was no room. And then I had the thought, like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm ordering all of my food via Instacart because I'm not dealing with this shit. And then I thought, like, God, what a fucking privilege.
I had a weekend about 2 weeks ago where I decided to ignore all of the boundaries I had set for myself in terms of content consumption, news consumption. I don't know how I didn't see it coming, but it just, that week was rough. I was reminded of the fact that I don't know when the next time I can travel is going to be.
Check our schedule out. We don't really follow it. Jobin is watching a lot more TV, and maybe it's the fact that I've accepted that TV is not a bad thing. It's actually your friend.
Today I have an appointment to donate blood. Now usually I go and donate blood near my office in town in London, and they've asked me to keep the same appointment, so that means I have to get on the train and I have to go up to London. So this is the first time I'm going to have been up to London for 7 weeks nearly, and yeah, kind of weird feeling. Feels kind of exciting but also kind of scary. I've got my mask on. It's pouring with rain, typical. It is truly weird being up on Oxford Street with all of these huge, massive shops closed. So I finally got to my appointment and they've cancelled it. And I'm really upset because I just wanted to help, and they sent me text messages all morning telling me that it was important that I attended and that they really needed my blood. And now they're saying that they've got too many people and so I should go home. And now I'm kind of scared that what I've done is endangered my family by coming up to town when I shouldn't have done. So I'm gonna go home now and wash everything. Oh, so disappointed.
Every morning, I couldn't wait to walk into our room and see your smiling face. I loved our morning high fives, our good morning poem, and when we would play Would You Rather. Getting this letter from my son's kindergarten teacher, it really set me off and made me just feel so bad for the kids because they want to be with their friends and their teachers, and homeschooling is hard on the parents, but I think we need to remember that it's really hard on the kids too.
I entered this the first week saying, like, the New Deal was born out of, like, the Depression, that, like, great things can come of, like, great strife. How many weeks of this do I need before we get to the New Deal? like, how many, how much, how low does it have to get? And I'm not even talking about myself, I'm talking about the whole.
There are people out. This is pretty much the realest window into our life. during this pandemic. I just want some grown-ups and a drink. Oh my God.
After a few months of being in this, I feel like we've, every day is a roller coaster. Some moments I feel great and I'm like, oh, I love that I don't have to get on the tube and I can exercise before I work, and I'm so glad that I work, and and then Flo might hit a maths problem and then there's tears and screaming and things are thrown across the room, and there is anger and we can't fix it, and we're also trying to work at the same time and take a phone call and answer an email. Like, how do you compose an email whilst you have a child going, mummy, mummy, mummy?
I feel anxiety every morning I wake up. When I go to bed, I feel this tension. I don't know what's safe to do. We have to go out. We have to go to the playgrounds, and there are people that are going about their lives, and we're trying to find our rhythm, but everything is like, oh my God, your mask should stay on your face when he's running around the playground, or how many times am I going to sanitize my hands, and the groceries, and it just like all that stuff all over again, because we have been out of the city, so we're almost experiencing it for the first time. When many people have gone through it, they stuck it out in the city, and they got through such awful months here, and now have a better understanding than I do of how to go about life.
I've actually reached a really good turning point. I'm actually okay. I think things really got dark around like April and May, but I don't know, I guess I'm sort of used to this new normal, and when you go through something that's horrific, you're kind of just like, well, how bad can it get at this point? So I think I'm doing okay.
I feel like I'm in a better spot than I was 6 months ago. I got a new apartment, I got a puppy, and I got a roommate, and I'm a lot happier.
I'm kind of happy to be stuck at home, and I'm happy that I'm not happy that makes me sound like a terrible person. I'm not happy that other people can't do things, but it does make it easier for me because I'm not feeling like I'm missing out. Everyone is stuck at home, but I get to be stuck at home with the little nugget, which is kind of exciting and kind of fun and really scary.
I might think about her going back to school and get really worried.
For us, it's just really not an option. I'm working here at home and I can't possibly homeschool or do e-learning with two kids, a first grader and a third grader. It's just not going to work. So they're very excited to go back and to see their friends and their teachers and to have routine again. So I think it's great. And it also means that since I'm working from home, I don't have to pay for daycare before and after care. So there are definitely silver linings to all this.
Hello, how was school?
Hot.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
September's here and Flo's back at school, which is amazing. Gives us this headspace to think and to get things done, and I think it helps us all with our mental health. But ultimately the future is still so uncertain.